It's been a minute. What's up, guys? Here we go. Facebook Live, what's happening? I'm gonna wait for you guys to jump on here. Super excited. It's Monday night, 7 o'clock. I'm gonna start coming back to you guys live. I can't even tell you how many people are just like, what happened to Coffee Talk? Where have you been? What are you doing? What's happening? What's going on? What's up, guys? Here we are, 7 o'clock. I want to get into it. Sorry, I was getting way ahead of I'm super excited to be here. I haven't been here in like a minute. We want to talk about belly fat. Belly fat. My girls are all like belly fat. Lisa, belly fat. How do I get rid of my belly fat? I said, okay. I'm going to help you. Gotta have some music going. Gotta have some music on. If you jump on here, drop me a comment below. Give me a little hi. Let me know you can hear me. We'll get this started. I don't know if we're gonna call it Coffee Talk. I guess we can call it talk. Wow. Call it Coffee Talk. But I want to jump in with you guys and talk about belly fat. How do we lose it? First of all, we want to talk about your diet a little bit. I'm going to kind of shut this down. But if you've got any questions on here and you want to drop me in the comments below, let's go ahead and make this like an interactive so I can answer any questions you have. I'm going to start tonight. I'm going to try to get here every night at 7 o'clock if I can. I'll post up on my Facebook what time I'm coming on. It's 7:02, so we're totally into this. First of all, I want to address one thing, which is my demographic, as they say, or my core group of people. And I train a lot of different people. I train professional athletes. I train stay-at-home moms and dads, and that sounds kind of ridiculous right now because we're all stay-at-home kind of people. Or we have been for the past couple years now. It seems like forever. And now during pandemic, everyone has really like kind of, the isolation has really created this, I think, basically not having structure, not having discipline and structure. And, sometimes if you don't have it with you inside of you naturally, it's really hard. And I get it. I totally get it. Even for myself, I love to work out. It's my thing. It's what I do. But I also struggle when I'm not around my core group, and getting feedback from people. So I offer classes if you guys want to jump in. I have Zoom classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 6 a.m. I know, don't come at me at 6 a.m. It's just a great time to like get up and get it out of the way and get through your workout. But again, we're talking about belly fat tonight. So a couple of issues with belly fat, and I'm going to talk kind of to my core group. So if this doesn't apply to you or it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, I just want this to be the clarity that, this is someone who could be, and if this is not you, it could apply anyway, but over the age of 40, and this is just to say, listen, people ask me, what do I do? I'm not telling you don't do this. I'm telling you this is how I treat my clients. Number one, alcohol. Are you drinking every night? Are you drinking glasses of wine? Are you consuming, shots of tequila? Or, no, Lisa, I don't drink during the week. I just drink on the weekend. Yeah, well, calories, drinking your calories is kind of a wasted form of nutrition. And the argument is always, yeah, but I won't eat food. It doesn't work like that. The body just doesn't work like that. First of all, the body hates alcohol. Alcohol is also a depressant, and so many people use alcohol to lift them up. And ironically, it just really does the opposite. So I want you guys to think in terms of stopping drinking is a it's a personal choice. I don't drink. I haven't had alcohol in a couple of years, so I don't miss it. I don't crave it. I don't even think of it like when I'm out, I need a drink. I don't need a drink ever. So that's kind of one. it's again, it's a personal choice. It's how, what's your level of commitment? What's your level of frustration? Your desire to lose belly fat. I would say number one, start with the alcohol, and then we go from there. Again, this is all based on what's your desire, what's your level of discomfort. You want to get to a place where you can say, you know what, I lost like 10, 15 pounds and I stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped eating bread and pasta and rice and all these like complex carbohydrates that just really don't do well for my body. I also think that as we've gotten older, again, I'm always going to keep referencing older. When we were younger, not everybody, but when you're younger, you tend to eat kind of whatever you wanted to eat. And as I was training when I was younger, whether it was bodybuilding or doing Ironman or martial arts or whatever it was, I was consuming a lot of calories just to catch up with the expenditure. What's up, Carlito? So in terms of thinking when we get older, I use the analogy, it's like the professional athlete, and I'll say like a football player because it'll make a lot of sense, but like the football player has to consume, let's say, you know, a lot of calories to maintain muscle mass, and at the level that they train and play, I mean, these guys are, you know, they're on the field, they're training, they're in the weight room, this is a full-time job, so their caloric expenditure, like the matching, is 8, 10, I've seen 10, even more calories a day. I think Michael Phelps was doing 10,000 calories a day. But what happens with the people that are professional athletes when they leave their sport, like us, we leave our young life and we move into our work life or our day-to-day where we're like, I can't make it to the gym, I'm busy, okay, or I'll walk later, whatever. But you forget that you've got to reduce calories, right? Does that make sense? So we talk about, oh, I'm eating the same way I did when I was 18, but I'm not losing weight. Got to start with what you're eating, the quality of the food, how much you're eating. Start like leveling out. I think these are simple things. There's a simple process. Sugar is always going to be like up high on my list. Also, when we talk about alcohol, we talk about sugar. And sugar comes in many different forms. When we talk about sugars, we're talking about glucose, fructose, sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, which is pretty much in everything. If it comes in a bag or a box or a can or a jar, it's probably not food, and it's got some kind of chemical derivative of whatever type of sugar that they create. But when people ask me all the time, they're like, what about fruit? Fruit's glucose. Fructose. Anytime you're gonna get sugar, it comes in many different forms, right? But it's still sugar, and the body really breaks down food into a sugar so it can pass through the body. So I usually try to get my clients to, let's pull back on the sugar, let's lose some of the weight, let's shed it, and then we can add it back in. You know, we're talking about better quality sugars. I think fast sugars are like the watermelons and melons and oranges and things like that. It's a very high sugar. I had a client this morning, I walked in and she took down a glass of orange juice and I was like, what are you doing? What's going on? She goes, what? I'm like, it's not the juice you want, it's the orange. The meat of the orange has all the fiber in it. So instead of just jacking up your blood sugar with juice, which I don't believe in juice fasting, cleansing is bullshit. There's no such thing. The body is really smart. That's what our kidneys are for, and liver. We are cleansing our bodies all the time. People come at me with all kinds of fancy, I'm going to do a cleanse, I'm going to do a detox. I'm like, there's no such thing. But I don't want to embarrass people and tell them, like, I hope people aren't selling you on that. And when I do a cleanse, I like to reference it with, I want you to eat food, but I want you to eliminate all the garbage. I think of it like a funnel, and funnel is like, I'm eating cookies, and I'm eating all this, and I'm eating that, and I'm eating potato chips, and I'm like, okay, let's close the funnel down. Let's bring it down to like the top 10 basic foods that are of high quality, high value. And you've got to give your body time to adjust to that. So from thinking about alcohol, we think about complex carbohydrates, talking about sugars. One of the best things I've ever done, first of all, it came to me by accident at a high level training my whole life. I had, as most of you guys know, I had bilateral carpal tunnel surgery, and then a few months later, I had my meniscus repaired. So because of all of that, I was like, I couldn't use my hands, I couldn't do anything with my upper body, so I really focused on my lower body, and then my knee went out, and not because I was focused on lower body, it was just a thing that happens, and welcome to getting old. Woohoo! But I was on my back, and I was like really out of it, and I couldn't get my legs back where I wanted them to. So I've been working on a program to like reestablish the strength in my knees, and I lost a lot of mass in my leg, like overnight. It was kind of frightening because I know that that's like an aging process, that's an aging thing. And then I think to the, for me, when I work with my clients and I'm like, listen, you've got to lift heavy weight. Yeah, you do. You just have to lift heavy weight because the weight-bearing exercises is what builds muscle. That's mass building. And there's so many of my women, so many of my girls, and I hate to make this like a girl thing, but my girls are still, I have so many girls that are still stuck on, I don't want to get big. Oh, but Lisa, my shoulders, and I'm genetically, look at me, and I'm big, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know how to answer without being a bitch. I really want to, like, Men in Black, like, whoop, take off the costume and the monster comes out. I'm like, that is not gonna happen. It just doesn't happen. If you have a predisposition, and I'm really offended by women that will say, I don't want to look like a man. Like, what does that even mean? Like, seriously, what does that mean? And it's all societal. It's all societal conditioning. Like, oh, you have a little muscle on your arm and you're afraid, your ego and your fear is that men will not be attracted to you. Meanwhile, I'm like, I could care less who's attracted to me. I need to make sure that my body is able to do the things that I enjoy doing. And no matter where I am in any situation, that I'm functionally fit. Lifting things over my head, picking up groceries, picking things up or moving things. I don't have to wait for somebody to come along and, oh, can you do that for me? Hey, it's really nice if you do, but I don't wait around for that to happen. I don't want you guys to get into a place where you think, oh, I don't want to lift weights. This is good enough for me. And you know what? I've been teaching for 42 years, and in that frame of time, I still get the same thing over and over. So we want to go back to the original question, which is, Lisa, how do I lose body fat, belly fat? And I think, number one, of a certain age, and for the most part, we look at also hormones in the body and how our body changes. This is happening with men. This is also happening with women. We have found that the stressors, like our stress hormones, essentially cortisol, is what releases in the body, and it sits in our midsection. I'm going to say this delicately, but I also want to say this like as just a hypothetical. There's one thing about losing weight and getting into shape, And there's another thing, which is also like living at someone else's standard or living at a number either in your body weight or a perceived look of your body, and saying, you know what, I may have gained a little weight, but I'm super strong and I'm super healthy and I feel really good. So there's that. But someone that comes to me and said, oh, I want a six-pack ab. I want six-pack abs. How old are you, dear? Oh, I'm 53. Oh, are you perimenopausal? Right, I get it. Listen, I think your desires to want a six-pack abs are amazing, and we'll get them. But in order to get them, you're going to have to get very, 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 very strict. Do I need to say that again? Just let me know. Living strict as I have my whole life, I've been an athlete in many different ways, full spectrum. So I have to do a photo shoot, or I have to do a competition, or whatever I have to do. I'm eating super strict. I'm living super strict. And now at 58, I'm 58. What? I just celebrated a second birthday in lockdown. It's not fun, you guys. It's just not fun. I love my birthday, and I just like, yeah, it sucks. Anyway, so next year, big party. But if you guys are a certain age, losing weight should be a goal so that you feel better. Losing belly fat is going to be simply shift your diet and move your body. Shift your diet towards healthier foods, green leafy vegetables, ribeye, fat, good healthy nuts, and things that are going to be energizing to your body. Eggs, salmon. I've been saying this over and over and over and over my entire life. Nothing's changed. But if I'm here to get you guys motivated to eat a little bit better and stop eating shit, put the chips down, move the cookies away. They're not helping you. And I look at that food like, what are you doing for me? It's like bad TV, like watching the news. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't want to know, because they're trying to push things down my throat that I don't want to watch. It's programmed TV. Who killed who? I think for the rest of our lives, we know for a fact you could turn on the news any day of the week, and the top news stories are gonna be who got killed. No? That's all I see. That's all I've ever known. I'm like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to eat food that's just going to sit on my body and accumulate body fat, or, put pressure into my heart or my arteries and just junk for no reason other than I'm trying to compensate for something that I never took care of years ago. And a lot of people eat for whatever, like, tell me what you did for the first 7 years of your life. Who taught you how to eat? Who gave you the habits to eat? That usually springs up with a lot of people. And it sits really clear for me that I always ate really well. My parents fed us really well when we were young. It wasn't until I got older that we were introduced to a Burger King or a McDonald's. But Burger King or McDonald's in my day was a treat. It wasn't the norm. It wasn't the go-to. It wasn't, I'm hungry, let's pull in. That just didn't happen. So I have a good network or a good foundation to be able to look at my life now and say, you know what? Cookies? No. Or I'm going to have one. I'm not going to eat the bag. Potato chips, I don't even open the bag because I know I'll eat the whole thing. So I just make that choice to say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not saying never. Again, I want you guys to have full spectrum of life. It's July 4th is coming up. You don't think you guys are going to have beer and chips and stuff like that? Or you can set it up differently and just eat prior to all of that snacky food that's out there, right? Just simple things that you can do to avoid it. And again, you have a great life. You want to enjoy yourself. You want to eat the things you want to eat. That's great. enjoy your life. I'm all for it. But if we talk about I need to lose weight, I need to get in shape, I've got this issue with my belly and I can't lose the weight, there are things that we can do, mostly diet. And then the second part, because I know as an older body and as an older athlete, I got to raise my level of movement. Because of my knee surgery, I started walking. And I love walking, but I'm a runner. I love to run. When I'm in run shape, and I call it run shape because it takes a while to get into run shape, I love it. I love when my body moves very efficiently. I put my headphones on, I'm listening to all this motivational stuff, and I'm like pumped up in my heart and my soul, and my spirit is just like flying. But I couldn't run. I'm still not in run shape. And I gained weight. I gained probably about 5 pounds. 5 pounds on me is a lot. And that may not make sense to you guys, but I'm not used to carrying extra weight. So I'm learning now, oh, I'm going to go for a long walk. And I spoke to a client today and I said, listen, take the weekend. You're not working. You've got plenty of time. Tell me how much time you spend on just miscellaneous stupid stuff, like watching movies on Netflix or whatever it is that you guys do. There's 24 hours in the day. Get up early and block like 2 or 3 hours of personal time. Cut everyone out and just take that time and go for a long walk. 5 miles, 10 miles. My 10-mile walks are like 3 hours. And I just get it. And I come back and I feel amazing. So I want you guys to also think about how can I also spend a lot more time dedicated to me, focusing on my body, focusing on the things that you guys need to do, which is pick up that, yeah, Cheryl, right on. Pick up those extra weekend times. Go during your lunch hour. If you have a lunch hour, make the lunch hour a physical hour. Years ago, we used to call it Executive Express, and I was teaching at the Biltmore Hotel. I would have a whole group of people who would come in for 45 minutes and their lunch break and just crush it. And they had a to-go lunch, boom, little salad, little salmon, go about your day. It was amazing. But you're also talking about the two things that I love, the 2 Ds, discipline and dedication. Discipline and dedication. You want to lose belly fat? Discipline and dedication. It's simple. And there's no such thing as lose belly fat. Maybe I lied to you a little bit, but the truth is you don't just lose it in one spot. If you're out moving and lifting heavy weight, and here's an example of heavy weight. If I were to say to you, I need you to start lifting heavier weight, we think about in terms of like cat food or dog food or bags of mulch or horse food. Now that Cheryl's on here, bags of stuff that you guys would be carrying. We're talking about 15 pounds overhead, 20 pounds overhead, or throwing something over your shoulder, like a sandbag or things like that. Squatting at least half of your body weight. For me, it's squatting my body weight and then some. I've come to a point too where I realize me lifting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier doesn't always do me any more benefit. If I tell you my body weight is 140, I weigh 140 pounds. I like to fluctuate between 130, 135. If I'm squatting 135, I'm super happy. I think even like in a max back squat for me, 165 pounds, I'm super happy. I don't want to get injured. I don't need to prove anything. I do know that I can lift that amount of weight. I know like an overhead press, I can easily lift, let's say, 85 pounds over my head. So in order for my body to change, I've got to get uncomfortable. In order to lose and gain muscle, because remember, we're trying to get rid of one, we got to use it though. And that's the long, slow distance. And then I've got to build muscle, which is lifting the heavy weights. So it's two different things going on. I've got to move to burn, and I've got to lift to build. And those two things are what's going to give you that overall conditioning in your body. There's no such thing as toning. There's no such thing. It's ridiculous that anybody even thinks that way. Oh, I just want to tone my arms. Like, that doesn't work. Here's the theory. And I teach body sculpting classes, and I'm always telling my girls, listen, when you get used to the 3s, move to the 5s. You get used to the 5s, move to the 8s. You get used to the 8s, move to the 10s, the 12s, the 15s, the 20s, the 25s, and do what you can. But your body is an adaptive machine. An adaptive machine. If you sit on the couch and eat crap and watch TV, it will adapt, and your body starts looking like your couch. I know that sounds kind of goofy, but it's true. I've always equated that. I'm like, look at where you are, look at what you do, and that you see lean, healthy, strong bodies, and you go, the person's moving. Right? So that's what we want. We want healthy, lean bodies. That's how we are designed. I, in no way, look at anybody and go, you're overweight. I have always been deceived by people that were seemingly overweight, but incredibly strong. Incredibly strong. And I made that mistake years ago during a race when I heard somebody behind me, and I'm like, how is somebody behind me? I'm flying. And then sure enough, this girl comes up next to me, and she was easily my height, probably 30 pounds heavier than me, and she flew right by me, and I was like, you go. You go. You just go. Yes. It was a high five moment for me to be humbled. And I love that. I love that feeling of like, yeah, all right. Yeah, I get it. You go, strong bitch. Damn it. All right. So it's not about, oh, I've got to be skinny. Skinny is not even the answer either. Because skinny is something that is it's an illusion in your mind. Like, I think for most people, your body weight, listen, I think that there's a level. Like, I always analyze people compared to myself. I'm 5'7", I'm 140 pounds right now. It's the heaviest. I was not this heavy. I haven't been this heavy since I was bodybuilding, and I'm not bodybuilding. So it's a little excess weight for me. I don't like carrying it around because when I run, I feel heavy. That's just me. But when I work with my clients and my athletes, I always say the same thing. I'm like, where are you at? Are you an athlete? No. Where's your body weight at? Where are you compared to me? Because I always think, I'm like, if I'm 140 pounds and your goal weight is 170 and you're 5'2", are you being realistic? Oh, but my bones are big. There's no such thing as big bones. There just aren't. If you're of a certain height, Wanda's on here, she's of a certain height. Your bones are long in certain, right? Shoulders, distance, but there's no big bone people. You see big, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Everybody's bony body, bone only, is a certain size. But the flesh on top of it, it's a whole different program. And I get it. I'm very sympathetic to people's genetic history. I look at my body, and I'm part my dad and part my mom. And the part that's my mom, I don't love it. I honor it, but when I look in the mirror, I'm like, it's my mom. I'm built like my mom. My fat is distributed exactly like my mother. My height and my leanness is exactly like my dad. Like, I have his body. So I understand also if I don't exercise, and I got it when I got this knee surgery. I lose weight. I lose weight like that. I gained it back when I started working out again, but I just shed weight like crazy. Like, I'm a skinny person, and I'm okay with that. When I was young, I was just like the skinny little toothpick kid. I had like knobby knees, and I have pictures. Oh, wait, I have a picture. Oh, look how funny. Okay, Carlos, if you're still on here, you're gonna love this. All right, so that's me. Look at those knees. Look at those little knobby knees. Come on, are you serious? I haven't changed at all. Obviously, I haven't changed at all. Like, I have not changed at all. Same body. Same exact body. And I laugh because I also, like, I pride myself in, like, my quads and, you know, my muscles, you know, shoulders. I was a skinny kid. I built everything from just training. So if I've helped you guys in any way, I'm going to be here. I'm going to try to get on as many 7 p.m.s as I can. I'm going to try to jump in during the day. I'm going to go back to getting you guys like inspired and motivated. And if you have any comments or questions, drop them below. I want to know. I want this to be a little more interactive. I'm here to help you guys. We've got a new program that's coming up. I'm super excited. I'm going to be reintroducing AeroRopes, but I'm also going to be doing some other new cool programs that I've been working on. Part of the Mindset program, if you guys didn't go through Mindset, you totally missed it. I have people even ask me, like, oh, I want to do Mindset again. That was so good. I'm like, yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. Mindset Reset. If at the end of the day, we could also agree that the most important thing that you guys, if you want to lose weight, get in shape, if you want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, I almost couldn't say it. Whatever you want to do, it's possible. And remember, you probably want to do something that someone else has already done. So if someone else has done it, you can definitely do it, right? And think about all the people that are out there doing things that you want to do, and you've put yourself in a place where I can't do it, I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. I want to give you the opportunity to meet with me so we can get you to where you want to be. And that's just a matter of saying, hey, I'm going to be your coach, I'm going to be your guide, I'm going to be your light, and you tell me what it is that you want to do. And it could be financially. I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, I want to travel to Europe, I want to, whatever it is you want to do, I want to lose weight. It all starts with mindset. It all starts with mindset. Everything is in your head. Everything is already there. It's sitting there. It's waiting. We talk about the vortex, right? We talk about put all your desires in the vortex. It's waiting for you. And how do you get it out? Because you align yourself. And you got to get a game plan. It's like a business plan. I don't necessarily like business plans. I thrive on, you know, next. I'm like a hunter-gatherer in my mindset. I'm like, all right, what's next, right? So if you guys missed out on mindset, or you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments below, or DM me. We'll get this conversation going. I'm going to be here as much as I can. I love you guys. I miss being here. I missed our coffee talk. I missed our coffee talk time. So if you guys have any questions you want me to answer this week, just give me a shout out. All right. I love you guys. Have a nice night.